Welcome back to the garage, everybody. So today we get started working on our chopper build. This is a mini bike I picked up a while back and was super cool. It was running sorta. When I picked it up, I had to do a little work to it and I got it going. And then shortly thereafter, I started taking it apart to fix some issues it had, mostly with the seat and the fuel setup. I added a bike tank to the frame and this works really good and I think it looks nice. The seat, I added this Springer seat back here with this faux alligator skin, and I think it looks really sharp. For the front, I got something really cool. Check this out. It's a 26-inch by 4 inches wide spoked bicycle fat tire. These are 10-inch rims that come on it, and we're going to be swapping it out to this thing. See if you can pick it up there. Yeah, it's going to be huge. We've also previously I added these 8s. And we're going to do a lot of work cleaning it up. I'm going to delete the controls up here and do a bunch of grinding and removing brackets and tabs off the frame. And my end goal of this bike is to have a super clean, super simple looking mini bike build that hopefully looks like it doesn't have enough parts to actually move and stop and start and run. But it's going to be a little bit of like a stealth build so that everything's there to have a fully functioning riding mini bike, just doesn't look like it. So let's get started, and here we go. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take off the old tire in the front because the brakes are jacked up in the front. It's actually not going to have front brakes anymore. With this being a chopper, I'm not going to ride this thing just all the time. So what I'm going to do is delete the rear drum brake that it already has. It works, well, it used to work okay. It had this neat little foot brake, which worked the cable that came back to this drum. It's a really cool setup, and I would have liked to have kept it, but nah. I'm gonna cut all this off, delete it, and the front had a disc brake, but it doesn't work. And I replaced those previously, and they've already seized up again. So I'm going to delete those, and we're going to go to a band brake on the clutch because we're going for that minimalistic, simple look. So band brake, clutch drive, I think it'll work really good. Let's take this front wheel off. Oh, yeah, the brake was grabbing the disc so bad I could barely pull the rim out. 2 spacers might be able to reuse. We're also going to change out our controls, which, yeah, I said we're going to shave them and hide them and stuff. We're going to go with brown grips. I think it'll look sharp having a brown seat, brown grips, just kind of a nice touch, I think. So we actually got 2 throttles. I bought 2 of the exact same. Yeah, they are 2 of the exact same. And we're gonna put these brown rubber grips on them. And the plan, if it works, I don't know if it will, but I'm gonna try and make it work. The plan is to be able to use the throttle on my right hand, obviously that's normal, but also a throttle on my left hand, which, because it's a right-handed grip and I'm using it on the left, I'm actually gonna have to roll it forward. It'll be a little odd at first, getting used to it for sure, but however it winds up working out, I'm going to work the brake with my left hand. So I'll be able to throttle with the right, brake with the left, and then I want to hide the cables inside the handlebars. We're going to see if I can get that to work. I think it'll look really cool if it does. Got it. That is what the French call garbage, or basura for Spanish. So the previous owner, I guess, thought it would be a good idea to put expanding foam in his tires instead of replacing them, because I guess they were having a lot of flats or something. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I don't know if I'm going to spend the effort cutting these tires off and digging all that stuff out of there. I may just donate these to science. Trash. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our giant wheel on. We have this big old fat tire that's usually originally made for bicycles. But we're going to take this thing and we're going to make it work on our mini bike. The axle, not quite the right fit for it, but I come up with something I think is going to work, and we're going to find out. All right. So this is my little bracket idea. It's going to allow me to stuff this big old fat tire in the chopper, but also allow the bike to kind of drop down a little bit. This is like a 2.5-inch spacer, and then this side here is for the normal axle, and this side is for the bicycle axle. They're different diameters, different lengths, and we're gonna make this work. There you go. Got the front wheel on there. We'll see how it handles to this drop linkage like that. Let's do the back tire. So, in contrast to our giant fat tire we were using in the front, we are going to use this Coleman CT100 rear tire. And there's a little bit of size difference, but it'll be all right. I think it'll look cool. It'll definitely look interesting once we get it all put together. But, yeah, let's see how that fits together. This is our rear sprocket. Comes with a kit. This is from Go Power Sports. It's the full wheel, axle, number 35 sprocket for the rear. It also comes with a brake caliper, but I'm going to be doing a different setup for the brakes on this bike, so we don't need that for this wheel. We're going to go ahead and put our sprocket on there, and then we'll stab the axle and see how everything lines up. We got the front one, the back we'll put on there. Let's pull it off the table and see what it looks like. We have to pull the motor out and get that lined up and get that mounted. And there really ain't that much to this bike. Pretty simple. Just for testing purposes, I think this looks pretty cool. You'll let me know if you've seen a mustache around here, because I think I just lost it. Alright, so anyways, back to the bike. As you can tell, some things have changed in the last cutscene. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden my shirt changed and my mustache fell off. I blame the grinder. Anyways, so we have made some changes. I have added some brackets here so that the front wheel hangs a little bit lower on the front forks. But due to the width of the axle that comes with this wheel, this is what I had to do to make it fit. And it turned out like it's going to be pretty good. I got to finish up the welds in here, but this was just for fitting purposes only. And there's also some more grinding and stuff you need to do in there. We'll come back to that later. Moving towards the middle of the bike, as you can tell, we have a motor in it now. The original engine I planned on putting in here had some issues, and so we went with this guy, this Honda 6.5 horse. It's a GX200. This is a very good motor. To put this in here, I had to add some 1-inch square tubing to make me a new engine cradle, because what originally came on this frame was a little 50cc 2-stroke engine, nowhere near enough power for what I want to do, which this is just going to be like a neighborhood cruiser fun bike. So we got us a 6.5 horse on here. We've done a stage 1 kit with a short exhaust. We'll come around here and check this out in a minute. Still gonna work on the jetting. I've run my fuel line right here. Added a fuel filter. Whew, what else? We've added a chain tensioner. Come on to this side. Check it out. Alright, so onto this side. You can see we're running in clutch. We've got a rear, a small front pulley and a pulley sprocket. Small front sprocket, large rear sprocket. We got plenty of torque. What's my gear reduction? I don't remember because I don't remember what size this is, but it runs well, so I'm not that worried about it. Anyways, little bitty wheel, big old sprocket, and it turns and burns. I had to add a chain tensioner because the original engine sits so far back it had a nice short chain. For this big engine, I had to move it forward, so now I have a mile-long chain, and there's way too much slack, and I was throwing my chain. So we added this chain tensioner. Luckily, this GX200 engine had a perfect bolt mounting spot right here, and I added this little pulley, and the old engine mounts
turned out to be a perfect spot for a spring. So, yeah, that worked. Nice and simple, and keeps my chain tensioned, and this all turns. Still got to go back and add washers. You can see I have this axle just barely held together. But for testing purposes only, it works good. I had a little short shot exhaust on here, and it was screaming loud. No thank you. So we added a muffler. This is actually a pretty neat muffler to me. This comes off the first mini bike I ever built, a Mega Moto 200, whatever. Mega Moto. This is my original muffler, and now it's on this project, so it's kind of neat. Just for me. Alright everybody, so we've changed a few things since you last saw it. We're in the final stages of assembly, reassembly. I finished the bike last night, this morning, and we got after it with a wire wheel and some sandpaper, and we knocked all the paint off, and we hit it with a solution of salt water and lemon juice to start our patina finish. Come in close and you can see what it's looking like so far. Come on in. So it's almost got like a cheetah print look to it right now, but the rust is coming in good. The patina, whatever you want to call it, it's all over the tank and all over the bike. I know a lot of people are gonna question the forks, but they were already in pretty rough condition when I got the bike a few years ago, and they had spray paint on them, so we took that off. As you can tell, we hid our cables inside the forks. We now have them going in and out here. I've got to throw my brakes back on and add a few zip ties, put a little extra on it. But it's there. So we have a standard twist throttle on this side. But something real neat about this bike is we have a twist brake. No brake lever, no brake pedals. You actually do a reverse. This is a standard throttle I put on here, but if you reverse twist, so it'd be more of a press instead of a pull, that actually is the brake on the bike. Also chose not to put the guard cover on here. I gotta pull the brake back up, but there's gonna be no cover here just to make it a little more exposed. This bike is supposed to look kind of, it's a rat chopper, so it's supposed to look a little more unfinished, but still operational. And I think it's gonna get real nice. So, check back in just a minute, and I'll have it all put together, and maybe we'll take it down the road. Well, there we have it, everybody. She's done. We got our +2 horsepower sticker on the side of it, and the bike is all put together. Now, I did crack my kickstand. I'm going to have to replace that. I got another one coming tomorrow, but it's the same exact one. So when we look at it, you'll see everything as the finished product. We're taking this bike down to the Go Power Sports Pull Start Picnic this year. It's actually this weekend, so we're cutting close on our finishing this project, but I think we'll be all right. I hope to see everybody out there. There's go-kart races, food vendors, and lots of different classes of bikes. I'm entering this one in the rack class, but there's lots of other ones. And then also this year for the first event, first time holding the event, they're doing drag races on Sunday. So that'll be really cool. I won't have a bike in that one this year, but maybe next year, who knows. But anyways, let's take it for a ride. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you have, then bump your neighbor and ask them to subscribe too. It's greatly appreciated, and it definitely helps the channel. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.